Hey guys, Caleb here, and welcome back to another video. And this weekend, or the past week, has just been insane for me. You guys have been keeping up with my Twitch. I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake non-stop. I believe the first stream that I did of it was about 20 hours, and then I came back the next day and did about a 15-hour stream, and then the next day I think I finished it off with another 13, and that ended up finishing the game for me. This is by far one of the best games, if not the... okay, we're not going to go there. But one of the best games I've ever played, and I just can't really get enough of it. And ever since I beat it, while there is hard mode and everything, I've been playing the game a little too much. I've been averaging about 14 to 15 hours a day ever since the game came out, which is, well, not exactly healthy. But I can't stay away from the game, and ever since I beat it, we just about 100%ed it, but there are a couple things that I didn't really bother wanting to get, like the Godarim thing with the massive accessory that, spoiler alert, allows you to start the battle with a limit break and pretty much use it all throughout the fight, all that you want. Which, we didn't end up getting that, and there are a couple other things that didn't, but for the most part, we did a 100% run, so it's all good there. But ever since I beat the game, of course, as a speedrunner, I've been routing the game myself, and it's been a blast. It's been a lot of work, and I've discovered some really neat strategies for some boss fights, including other trash mob fights just in the game, that I've really optimized and would like to share with you all, so you can see what I've done, and then maybe use them for yourself as well. I gotta say, it feels pretty good routing a game myself when I've never really actually done that before. Usually with speedruns, you just watch a video, fastest time, and usually copy and paste. But in this case, we started from scratch. I made my own strats, and they work pretty damn well. There is a heavy amount of RNG, of course, because it is an RPG, but it's a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to show you this first tutorial. And that is going to be how to beat Guard Scorpion efficiently. From what I've found, Guard Scorpion is actually one of the hardest fights in the game to optimize. You wouldn't think that, as it's the first boss in the game, but, well, it's true. What makes Guard Scorpion very tough to optimize is you are only allowed 2 characters for this fight, which, well, that's kind of how it should be, because it's the original. Usually for the rest of the game, on these fights, types of fights that is, you have 3 characters. But in this case, you have less firepower. No pun intended, because, you know, Barrett's in there and he's got a gun on his arm. And then, you know, he just... But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the first of many boss tutorials for Final Fantasy VII Remake. The best game ever made. Yeah. Now, first, before we get started, what I would like to do is make a combat mechanics tutorial guide to explain how everything works together, with swapping actions with other characters, going on to other characters, giving them credit for ATB, and so on. Different moves, their properties, different abilities, weapons, all that good stuff. But I feel like Guard Scorpion is the perfect place to actually learn the combat system, because it does teach you pretty much everything that you need to know, aside from a couple things. Again, you only have 2 characters in this fight. Usually in the game you have 3, but this is a nice little stepping stone for how advanced the combat actually is. So to start off, what you really want to do is you want to fill Barrett's ATB gauge all the way up. The purpose of this is so he can get a focus shot, which deals a lot of pressure damage in this game. Now, pressure and stagger are 2 different things. Pressure is the ability to get an opponent staggered while they're kind of down or stunned or whatever, which is really the point in which you want to use moves that utilize the stagger. Now, there are a couple different things in this game, like focus thrust, focus shot, a few other ones that really take advantage of this, but in this case, we're going to use focus shot to actually apply the initial pressure for him to get stunned. So again, we're going to hold down shot the entire way, and what that does is it gives him some boost at the very end of the shot. And then right after that, we're going to do an overcharge, which greatly increases his ATB. And that allows us to get the focus shot right off the bat. Now, the thing about the focus shot is that the one that only takes 1 ATB doesn't do nearly the pressure that the one with 2 ATB does. So that's important that you do this. I'll show you why. So you do the focus shot and then immediately switch over to Cloud, and you pretty much want to get 2 ATB bars while just mashing square and changing stances, and that's when the first pressure initializes. Now, why that's important is because when he's pressured, you have 2 ATB for focus thrust. Now, focus thrust is one of those moves that I talked about earlier that increases your stagger gauge greatly. Watch. So as you can see here, focus thrust is doing insane stagger damage, and then eventually you can finish off with Cloud's auto combo. Now, what's important to note is during this auto combo, you want Cloud to stagger, and the reason for that is because that way he gets credit towards his limit. This is going to be very important for the third phase of the fight. So then after that, you want to switch over to Barret. As you can see here, I quickly swap over and then get ATB with him and then do a quick Thunder while he's staggered. That way I can force him into phase 2. Now, an important step of during this is while a cutscene is happening, you can still build ATB, and this is really important for Cloud right now. So as he's going, you can see that I'm mashing, and then during the cutscene I'm hitting him and building ATB. It's very crucial. So it goes into phase 2. Now, here's what I've found out is with fire, he gets rid of the shield immediately. Now, if you can see, as I come around the back here, I'm going to do fire on the Scorpion Sentinel instead of the field generator. For some reason, this disables the shield in one go. I don't know why, but you also have to make sure to be very close to him. Otherwise, this won't work the same way. So I do a fire and get rid of him, get rid of his shield, and then whenever I swap over to Barret, I'm going to immediately do an overpower or overcharge, or whatever the fuck it's called. And then what this is going to do is get him a lot of ATB, and then usually what Guard Scorpion will do is go onto the wall. However, there are times when he doesn't. Like this. He just fires off the missiles. And if he does not immediately jump to the wall, you have to respect that and just wait for him to go into the wall, because if you fire off an early focus shot, it's going to miss, and then that screws up everything. Now, again, like I said, as you can see, the focus shot, the fully powered one, you see how much pressure damage that does? That is very key for this fight. As you can see, he's over half the way staggered, which is big. Now, there's a key point here. You want to do it on the wall for the reason that this causes Guard Scorpion to, like, stagger or whatever. Like, he's doing the missiles, but then he gets interrupted. This is very important because it makes it, 1, faster, and 2, you just don't get hit, so it looks cleaner. Now, after he comes down, you want to do another overcharge, whatever it's called. And then switch over to Cloud, go ahead and do a focus thrust, because again, that's the move that you want to do whenever you're trying to stagger an opponent. Now, there are times when you can do this a bit quicker. His stagger meter will be a bit higher, so in 1 focus thrust he will be staggered, which is obviously very quick, but this time I didn't. So do a tiny hop, and then right after that you can just do a few slashes, and then that will stagger him. Now, as you can see, Barret has 2 ATB. This is very good. because he's going to do 2 Thunders. And then Cloud is going to do 1 Braver. This will immediately force phase 3, as you can see. Then he is in phase 3 immediately. So it's very quick, very fast. So after all that's said and done, he will go into phase 3. Phase 3 is a bit tricky, as all of them are, but it's not too bad the way this is set up. Now, this is where, again, Cloud is going to have to stagger Guard Scorpion on that second phase as well. And again, this way he gets credit towards his limit break. This is very important for this next phase. He's going to do that same thing again, but he's going to get the limit. When Cloud gets his limit break on this particular phase, it saves a shit ton of time, because otherwise you're going to have to expend a lot of time just to get him into stagger again, and there's a very small window for you to actually do that. Pay attention. Now this is a key point. The way this works, this particular phase, is you want Cloud to be selected initially. For some reason, whenever you have Cloud selected initially, and you swap over to Barret at the beginning of the phase, he will target Cloud immediately, and he'll just ignore Barret. This is amazing because what Barret's able to do is deal some slight stagger damage, but he can get full ATB bar and then do a focus shot to apply insane amounts of pressure. Watch this. As you can see, he's ignoring me completely. Like, he's just like, nah. Fuck that guy. I don't know why. Yeah, screw the guy who's shooting at me, but I don't know. It's good for us. So as again, right here, this is where you want to fire. This is the point in which you need to be very timely with your focus blast. Focus blast. It's from Pokemon. Focus shot. Wow. Anyway, you need to be very timely with your focus shot. As you can see, the window to do this is very small. And at that point, see how much pressure damage that did? That's insane. This is really good. Now, again, this is why you want Cloud to get the stagger, because he will get credit and then he will get his limit. And this is very good, because now we can do the limit, do an overcharge, overpower, whatever we decided to call that. That will give credit to Barret, and then he can fire off a Thunder, and then that will force phase 4. Now there is a little bit of randomness with damage in this game. It's an RPG. Sometimes it will deal a little bit less damage than you need, and then the phase doesn't immediately start. So you may have to wail on him a bit more, but that's just RNG. It's whatever. Now the 4th phase is, fortunately, the easiest phase. Quite simply because, well, all you have to do is attack the legs, and then he's dead. So we're going to swap over to phase 4 here. Now, if Barret does not have full ATB, what you want to do is you want to swap over to him, and then do a Thunder. What a Thunder does to the leg is immediately destroys it. If it doesn't destroy it, it's going to live with like maybe 10 HP, and if it does, just go ahead and kill it. And this is very important because it applies immediate pressure. And you want to do the same thing for the other leg. However, for that one to die, you need to swap over to Cloud, do a fire, and if you have 2 ATBs by that point, do 2 fires, and then watch. So as you can see, I kill one leg immediately, and then get 2 ATB with Cloud, and then do 2 fires on the left leg, and the left leg is now down. Now, you want to do a focus shot, and then get an immediate stagger, and then just go ham. And that's it. So, GG's, thanks for watching. Yeah. So, that is Guard Scorpion. Now, that fight won't go the same way every single time, and you have to kind of respect that, because there are different things that can happen during that fight. Phase 2, notably, seems to have the most significant RNG, as opposed to maybe getting smaller damage ranges and not forcing in the next phase. That's about it, though. But you are going to have to practice this fight. It does take kind of a lot to kind of grasp the combat system, but overall it's a really fun time and really had fun doing it. And that will conclude the Guard Scorpion tutorial itself. Now, of course, what I plan on doing is making an in-depth tutorial like this one for every single boss in the game, so you can look forward to that, but I think it's more important that I talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake as a whole. Been getting a lot of questions and requests that I do an analysis, which I probably will, but it's going to be a really long video, and it's going to be quite the roller coaster as far as that goes, because I don't want to spoil it quite yet, but the ending is, it's an ending. I'm sure I'm not the only person who feels this way, but Nomura has his fanfictions and ways of telling story, I suppose. But anyway, that's for another video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you happen to be. And thank you for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like the content, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and my Twitch, and more importantly, don't forget to sub to the YouTube channel. Thank you.